Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame, and this is the recap review for Love and Marriage Huntsville, the reunion special. So let me silence that. And now let's go ahead and get into this recap review. Ciao. It started where it left off last time, where we saw Martell being very hesitant in answering the question, which is, would you marry the main side heifer? Because in my opinion, he has several, and I think that they kind of confirmed it on this reunion special. Would you have married the main side heifer instead of Melody had you met the side heifer first? And he was silent and didn't say nothing, and he ultimately did not even answer the question. And Melody was like, that's some BS. Because it's like, come on now. Come on now. Child, I don't even want to get into that aspect of it yet. But child, Martell is just so trifling. Because it's like, why be dramatic and have a pause like that and make it seem like, I got to think about that. Because at this point, you must love this heifer. Like, you must have strong feelings for her outside of just sex and what she does for you sexually. Now, I know that there are people who get confused, if you will, and they start doing the most when sex is involved, and they start feeling some type of way and be like, oh, I think I might be in love with this person. But I don't think that's what it was for him. I think it was strictly sex, and his ego was being stroked and all of that. But I don't think he was in deep love and all that stuff. I feel like he was more in lust than anything. Whether he grew to love her is a different story. I don't really buy that. Whatever. Melody says that she thinks that, there was more, and that she realized that there had to be more for him to just be out in the midst of a whole pandemic. Like, you doing the most. Like, the stuff that she explained that he was doing, it's like, bruh, you doing the most. Is it that good? Is it that good for you to do all of this? It's got to be that good, because ain't no way I'm going to sit up here and be broke all the way down while my wife is tending to me to do all of these things. But yeah, Melody was very, very upset. And it was just to the point where it's like, bro, you done did the most. So apparently he couldn't walk. Something was going on with him. Like, she was taking care of him. And she didn't know he had all of these, personal phones. So his phone was somewhere else, and she saw the phone. He crawled up the stairs or crawled somewhere else to the other phone, to the bat phone, or whatever you want to say it is. And he all up in that phone. And she looking like, really? This is what we do? Like, child, don't nobody have time. If it's that deep, be by yourself. Go out there and be a thought. Go do that. Don't sit up here and get married to somebody doing the most. Now, I don't know if this was a situation where it was a glow up when they were together, and then you became something, and that's why you out here showing out. But it got to stop, because that's exactly what happened with my ex. My ex was out here when I got with him. Wasn't nobody checking for him. Like, I'm not even trying to be mean in saying that. When I say that, now, he's not an ugly person to me. He's not ugly. Even though he tried me to the utmost, even though that is the worst relationship I've ever been in, I'm not going to sit up here and lie and say, oh, he was ugly and whatever. No, my ex was not ugly. My ex was scrawny. You know what I'm saying? He was small, and he didn't have muscles, none of that. So he started working out, and he developed a regimen and all this stuff that eventually started working for him, and he started gaining muscle. So then after all that happened, people started taking notice. Nobody was checking for him like that. Not for real. Nobody was really checking for him like that before he started getting muscles and all of that. Now, all while this is happening, even before he started doing all of that, I was complimenting him. I was always flirting with him. I'm the type of person that when I'm with you, I'm going to show you that I am attracted to you. I'm going to show you that I desire you. And that's what I did all throughout my relationship, even when it was rocky and I was the one trying, and it was one-sided trying. And, you live and you learn. It was one-sided trying. You can't be in it by yourself trying when they out here doing what they want to do and they got one foot out the door. You can't do that and think it's going to work. That's what I was doing. And at that point, it was circling the drain. The relationship was circling the drain. It's like, what's the point? So anyway, I'm trying to figure out with Melody and Martell's situation, is that what it was? Like, they were, together, and all of this stuff came about as they were together. and it was a glow up from there. Like, what is that? So in my mind, I just really see, I think of stuff like that. Like, I keep trying to tell y'all that I'm very inquisitive, and I think of all kinds of stuff that other people might not think to ask or to, think, is that a part of why situations are going the way that they're going or have gone the way that they go? Like, I really be thinking about a lot of stuff. So yeah, but this was too much. There was a point in time during this whole situation where we found out that there was supposed to be a guys trip between all of the like main people who were on here, not the newcomers. So it was supposed to basically be Maurice, Marceau, and Martell, and maybe Sadaric. Sadaric isn't there, so whatever. So anyway, we find out that at least Marceau, he has owned up to the fact that he has seen Martell and I was about to say the heifer's name, and the main side heifer interacting and with one another. And so I'm looking like, wait a minute, what's going on here? And the outing was in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, I'm guessing that Melody did not even know that the outing was in Atlanta, Georgia, by the way that she responded. And then, of course, why would she even know that they were even seeing each other? Apparently, the heifer popped up while they were supposed to be on a guy's trip. Maurice claims that he didn't see her, and then, like, when they went to, like, a commercial or whatever, we see them talking, Kimmy and Maurice talking, and it seemed like he kind of backtracked, and I'm like, did you just say you didn't see her? Child, don't. Like, what is we talking about? And so the question came up as to whether or not they left, or would you leave? Like, why would you leave if you're seeing that your friend is doing something that you don't agree with? So Marceau was like, I didn't get up and leave. I mean, I'm not going to, get up and mess up my good time because somebody else appeared. I'm going to be here. That doesn't mean I condone it. And so Maurice pretty much said the same thing. He was like, no, I wouldn't get up and leave. Now, all the ladies said they would have left. Even if one of their female friends was out and about with their side dude, they said they would have got up and left, and they would have expressed the fact that they ain't here for it, and she ought to be ashamed or whatever. But don't nobody have time. Like, I just can't. Now, for me personally, I would have said something to my friend. Now, if this was my best friend doing all of this, I'd be like, nah, heifer. Whether I pulled her to the side or said it in front of the dude, because at the age that I am now, it wouldn't surprise me if I said, you know what, both of these people need to hear this. I love you, sis, and I want nothing but the best for you. But you can do better than this situation. You do not have to be a side. You do not have to be that person that is on the side. Don't you want better for yourself? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't care if he is telling you, oh, I'm getting divorced, or I'm going to get a divorce, or I'm unhappy in this marriage and I'm only with this person for the kids. So when the kids grow up, then I'm going to leave or whatever. Like, these excuses that these people come up with, I cannot stop it all. I don't want to hear it. Because if they would tell me, I would love to hear what the other person would say. I would love to hear what the married person is going to say excuse-wise, because I don't think you can really tell me nothing that would help me to better understand or to even agree with the fact that this is what you're doing. I'm not here for that. Because even if I was in a broken marriage, I wouldn't want to find out that my spouse was out here thotting and bopping. Because just as I did when I was in a relationship and I found out that my ex was cheating on me, I have to worry about, are you bringing babies into the situation? Are you bringing diseases into the situation? He done brought a baby into the situation, whether this child lived or not, because he actually lied to me about that. So my thing is that, like, it's just too much stuff that can go on and that can happen. So it's like, this is what we're doing? I don't understand the fascination. Go somewhere and be single and sit down. So they actually ended up going to like a commercial or whatever. And while they were still rolling, they were going to do like lunch or I guess or something like that. Melody is so upset that she begins to express how much she does not like Huntsville. She hates it there. And I'm pretty sure it's all because of the exposure that has happened and such a big light has been shined upon her marriage, and you were once seen as this power couple, and now look at you. And so I really feel like that's what it is as to why she don't like Huntsville anymore, because Huntsville is well on its way to becoming the capital city of my home state of Alabama. I don't know if it actually could be there already. Right now, my home city is supposedly, still the capital. You know what I'm saying? I haven't looked at the statistics lately, but yeah, Huntsville it's supposed to be between now and 2023 that they are on track to becoming the capital of Alabama, because it's such a booming area. Now my area doing a lot too, but still they're gonna be neck and neck, if anything. But Huntsville might surpass us. So anyway, she's just to the point where she was like, I don't like it. I hate it here. Everybody in this room knows how much I hate Huntsville. And that's so sad that you have done so much there and people know you and you made a name for yourself and you don't even like where you are living. And then to add insult to injury, your children have, basically they have roots there. They have roots there, despite the fact that you lived there, your husband lived there, your ex-husband, lived there. It's just to the point where it's like, it's hurtful. And all this stuff is happening. I think the side heifer lived there. So it's like, it's too much. It's too much. I would understand. I would 100% understand that. So no. And then Kimmy and Maurice further talk about how Maurice basically was like, I would just sit there. Like, I would just sit there if I saw my friend doing all of this. Like, he's trying to make it seem like, oh, well, I don't feel like it's me participating or saying that it's okay for the person to do what they're doing. I don't feel like there's a problem with me staying. Like, I'm not going to just get up and leave and stop doing what I'm doing because somebody appeared. In his mind, he feels like, well, if that's supposed to be my friend, why not stay and, introduce some logic into the situation? Maybe I can help the situation. And I'm like, you ain't finna tell me that you gonna sit there. I don't feel like he would sit there and be like, you know what, man, this is not the way to go. Like, especially if you knew the vibes, you could tell the vibes. Marceau even said that even though the words did not have to be spoken, he could tell that there was chemistry between Martell and the side heifer when she was present. Why is this heifer popping up? And like I said earlier, it seemed as though Melody didn't even know that this outing, this man's and boys' day out and whatever, guys' trip or whatever, didn't even know that this was happening. Didn't even know that this was happening. And if she did know it was happening, she had no idea it was in Atlanta. And all those times that Martell was sitting up there whining and moaning because she had gone to Atlanta where her relatives live, where her brother lives, all because, he want to have an attitude about the brother because the brother is gay. And the children love the brother and the brother's husband. It's like, why? As long as there's love happening and ain't nobody raping and molesting nobody, what is the problem? What is the problem? I don't understand. I don't get it. And then when both of y'all are working, if they are willing to take the kids, what's wrong with that? Why can't they spend time with their nieces and nephew? What is the problem? I don't be understanding. It's just are you homophobic? Is that what it is? If that's what it is, just say that. Come on now. Okay, so they did a little bit of a break, and then when they were coming back, they were gonna have Destiny to come out. So when she came out, she was looking good, right? She was looking so good that Carlos King, a person who everybody can look at and tell is gay, as gay can be, was even looking like, I'm gay and I'm looking at you. So I'm just saying, like, because he told me, I think you might need a prayer clause. She was like, why? And he was like, shoot, the man might be looking at you. And they looking like, looking at who? I'm like, oh my gosh, don't do this. But anyway, Destiny be looking good anyway. Like, her body is everything. She is a very pretty person. She has an amazing shape. She looks good. She was looking good like right after she had the baby too. It is what it is. So anyway, he wanted to know like what was going on, like why is it that she didn't want to discuss her relationship or whatever. And so she said that was her personal decision to not say anything about the marriage and what happened. He asked, was it because of infidelity on her part or his part? She said no. She verified that yes, indeed, he did file the paperwork, and it was what it was. So, unless I missed it, she didn't even say why the divorce happened. I mean, it just seemed like, and it's like, she said that 3 months after she gave birth is when this happened. And I'm like, wait a minute. Everybody was looking like, wait a minute, baby. Because, like, why? What is going on? What happened, LeBaric? What's going on here? Why? Like, I don't get it. So, y'all, excuse me. Maybe the reason was because he felt like you should take my last name. She said they'd already discussed it. And y'all know they had been together years prior. Then they finally got married. And, you know, it was a situation where she didn't want to, like, change her last name. And she didn't want to give up her space and her things because they were trying to have somewhat of a power struggle of sorts. Because he had a place, she had a place. She likes a certain decorum. He liked a certain decorum. And if they were going to be married, they were going to have to figure that out. So then she downsized. Most of her stuff, I think, went to storage, into storage or whatever. And I think she kept her last name. I don't remember. But they got into it about that. And some people feel some type of way about that. Like, why wouldn't you take my last name? But my thing is this. Like, you need to discuss these things up front. And so Kimmy was like, look, this man would not have married me if I said, no, I'm not going to take your last name. Ain't no questions. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. And I get that. My ex said, yeah, my ex said, you know, he didn't care because we had discussed that. I was like, well, if I don't want to take your last name, like, would you have a problem with that? Because for me, just as they were talking about on this show, legacy is the reason why I'm big on that. And since I didn't plan on giving birth to any children, he didn't want any kids, and so that worked out in my favor. I was like, well, let me let our last name go on. Now, we have a humongous family. Granted, we have a humongous family just on my daddy's side alone. My thing is this. The only person at this point who would be passing the legacy on is my brother. Because he's the only one who really out here who would eventually get a girlfriend and marry somebody and have a baby with them. My sister has already said that she's not going to have kids. Me and my sister came together one day. I don't know how in the world, but we both randomly went to our parents and told them, don't expect any grandkids from us. If you're going to have grandkids, you'll be getting them from your son. The end. Get that in your mind now so you can already expect what is in store, because we ain't giving birth to nothing. I have my own personal reasons. My sister has her own personal reasons as well. So for me, my menstrual cycle be doing the absolute most, and I have barely been able to withstand that. Like, if I feel like throwing my own self through a stained glass window would feel better than how I'm feeling, ain't no way I'm trying to give birth. I'm pretty sure me trying to give birth to a child would be terrible for me. So in my mind, I'm like, no. Now, I love kids. Kids love me. But I'm just like, no, that's what I'm not finna do. No, I can't. So yeah, it was just too much going on with all of this stuff. So after everything was all said and done, they wrapped up everything with Destiny, and Destiny let it be known that she is open to dating. Of course, somebody asked, would she date Jalen, who is Kimmy's son? And she was like, look, that wouldn't work out because I would hurt him. Like, it's been a year and we ain't got time for that. Like, somebody is gonna have to be really ready for her if they're gonna be with her. So I'm like, okay, cool. So then they go on to the next segment, and they are introducing the new couple, Tiffany and her husband. I don't know why I forgot his name all of a sudden, child. But yeah, Tiffany and her husband. Hold on, I'll get it in a minute, I think. Oh man, I just had it. Lewis. Tiffany and Lewis. Okay. So he asked them, were they a fan of the show before they came on here? They said yeah. And Carlos went over the fact that, you know, a lot of fans commented on them being on this show. And even in the past, whenever they have new people to come on, or like random people like Sadaric, when we see them pop on the screen from time to time, we gonna voice our opinions. And a lot of people, most people don't like Sadark, and I mean, I understand why. Like, he just, child, I done already expressed it. Any of y'all who have seen this, y'all already know I'm not here for Sadark. So yeah, she said that yes, she has read the comments, and she's surprised that she hasn't like thrown herself off of a cliff or something like that, jumped off of a cliff. Like, people really be going in. And Carlos said that, you know, before they came on the show, people went in on Destiny, and they wasn't here for Destiny, but now they like Destiny, or, you know, she's tolerable to them now. I don't know. But anyway, they were talking to them about some things, and I just wanted to know what was going on with them, and why is it that they always have so much to say, and y'all are trying to make it seem like y'all transparent, but we don't see the transparency that you love to say that y'all are. And so every time we look up, y'all are in everybody's business. Y'all have not even been married a full year. Y'all been married for 11 months, but y'all want to sit up here and try to tell us what we need to do when we've been married longer than y'all. Now, even though Letitia and Marceau have been married for 15 years, there have been moments, I don't know if y'all remember, there have been so many moments where I've been like, this is not this is not conducive to a marriage that anybody would consider to be goals or anything like that, which nobody should even do that. Nobody should sit up there and say a marriage is goals or a relationship is goals, because I've done that before and I was sadly mistaken. And if I had known the behind the scenes, child, I would have never in life. I'm telling you, when it came to light, jaw was just on the floor, mouth wide open. So yeah, they were talking about moments when Tiffany brought up Monster vaping, and a clip where Lewis was talking about, had he been there or a part of the conversation when certain things were said, that it would be a different conversation that they were having, and he gonna try to clean it up, trying to make it seem like, oh no, it wasn't gonna be. No, you trying to make it seem like it was gonna be some furniture moving. Don't try to. I'm sorry. Why is it that everybody but him is interpreting what he said as, oh, if I had been, oh, it would have been different had I been there. You better be glad I wasn't drinking or something. I was like, what are you talking about, sir? What? Huh? Child, I can't. So anyway, so something that came up that I found to be very interesting is that they were still talking about transparency, and Kimmy was like, it's crazy that y'all keep talking about transparency. I heard that Tiffany got fired from the chambers. So y'all know Chamber of Commerce. I don't know if y'all know about that, but I used to hear about that ever since I was a child. Like, every state has various branches doing all kinds of random stuff, whatever. So she was supposed to be a member on the Chamber of Commerce. I don't know what in particular she was doing. I think they might have said it when she first got on here, when Melody was introducing her, and she was like, oh, I know you probably remember her from the Chamber of Commerce, whatever. So she said that she didn't. And in my mind, I'm like, and I forgot to go look on the website. You can look stuff up like that. But at the same time, like, a lot of that stuff, you have to, especially because of what's going on in life right now, it might not be updated. Because there are so many things that I used to be able to look up, and if it's something that actually happened like that, oh, it was updated very, very quickly. And this, they recorded this far enough in advance after the rumor, I guess you could say, of her being fired from the chamber happened. So it would be updated. But do any of y'all know if this is true or not? Because she said that it didn't happen. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So yeah. Why did Carlos ask Marceau, when he looks at Lewis and Tiffany, does he see a successful marriage or whatever? It's like, he basically was reading, but he was telling the truth. But it's like, y'all barely made it the first year. Y'all got to calm down. Like, I see y'all together, and y'all doing the most. And so his issue, which is my issue as well, it's like, you always have an opinion. You always got something to say and all that. But it's like, you're not an expert in anything except divorce at this point when it comes to marriage. Like, y'all was doing the most. Tiffany and her husband admitted that they cheated in their past relationships and all of that. But it's like y'all stay trying to tell somebody what they need to do in their marriage when y'all have barely been married yourselves. And y'all are pretty much still in the honeymoon phase. So it's like, at this point, my thing is this. Like, I would say, if anything, tell me things that you're doing that is spicy. Like, you could do something like that. But don't try to tell me, oh, well, the key to this successful marriage. No, don't tell me that. Tell me what you're doing to keep it spicy. Tell me something like that, along the lines of something like that. But don't be trying to tell me what I need to do for longevity, because y'all have barely been together a year. Ain't nobody trying to hear it. Child, but anyway, that was pretty much the end of the episode. I was about to say Destiny. Letitia was just like, I just don't understand why people who become new to the group always come in and think that they are supposed to be able to give myself and my husband advice on our marriage and what we should be doing. And I'm like, I agree, but I mean, it's like, I understand both sides, but it is what it is. Child, I just can't wait for the dirt to come out. I just cannot wait for the tea to spill everywhere on her marriage and all this stuff that's going on with her. I'm just saying, I don't care if nobody says something is going on, because that's the first person on this show that I thought they dirt was going to come out, not Martell. I did not think that that's what was going to happen. I thought it was him for sure, for certain. So anyway, y'all, thank you for tuning in to this recap review for the Love and Marriage Huntsville Reunion Special Part 2. Part 3 is supposed to be next week, and it's going to be explosive. Miss Wanda and Van, who is Letitia, and Melody's mamas, they gonna be on there, and it's gonna be a mess. And child, I'm ready. This is supposed to be the last part, so hallelujah in the name. Subscribe to my channel if you have not done so. Give this video a thumbs up, please. Apparently that helps with something, the algorithm or whatever, all that good stuff. Let's get down in the comments and discuss this foolishness. Since I have not been present and a lot of stuff has been going on, y'all, I've been tending to my friends. It's been so, when I tell y'all, if I was to tell y'all what's been going on, y'all be like, girl, how you even on here today? I'm good, personally. It ain't me, it's everybody else going through. And I'm like, Lord, I'm just so glad for my peace and all the meditation that I have been doing. Like, I am doing so well. I am so blessed. Like, I really am. But anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and get into this foolishness in the comment section. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a married man side heifer saga. Yes, it's going to be a little early. I don't think they're going to pop off tomorrow. So yeah, I'm going to do that as a gift to y'all. And I'm sorry. But anyway, I'll see y'all later on. Have a good one. Bye.